Where is the mic level thing? Hi everyone, I'm Stormi the Folf, and I'm running on 5 hours of sleep, so this should be fun. I hate having insomnia, and I'm off-centered. I look crooked on the camera, so many problems. So this is Q&A number 2. These videos are basically going to be me answering questions you asked me either on Twitter or on my YouTube channel. If you have a question that you want answered, type Q&A, type hashtag Q&A in the comment section below so I know what post to look for. But anyway, let's move on to the Q&A. Will you be attending CoastCon or Southern Geek Fest this year? Okay, for those that don't know, CoastCon and Geek Fest are basically one of the few local conventions in my state. They're not fur cons, but rather just cons where people gather to express their geeky or nerdy side, at least from how society interprets those terms anyway. We might go to one of them, I just don't know yet. If there's going to be a fur meet at least one of those cons, I will probably go to one of them. Since you live so far away, can I film myself talking to a potato and say it's you for a collab? Absolutely. I'll just need you to sign my remote potato contract first. Is it vor if one potato eats another? I'm not so sure about that. Nom. Well, you be the judge of that. If you got a life-size plushie of Tails, how would you react? I actually do have a life-size Tails plushie, but he's starting to fall apart and I have him put up in storage for now. When I did get him though, we exchanged a lot of long, awkward hugs. Who are your main inspirations to start your YouTube channel or persona? Well, when it came down to starting the channel, I basically experimented a lot until I finally settled on the main focus of my channel, which is to offer advice and help the world understand our fandom a little better. Before that though, I really wasn't too sure what to do other than tell a few stories I experienced in the furry fandom. And before I even started this channel, I experimented with a lot of weird ideas where maybe I'd review stuff, compose music, read creepypasta stories, and so on. In the end, I ultimately settled on being YouTube furry trash. If you had the opportunity to move anywhere in the world and be able to comfortably afford it, where would it be? I'd like to move somewhere where crime is just non-existent. There's a furry con every month. Everyone can find a job doing something they love. My neighbors are furries. The temperature doesn't exceed 80 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer or get below freezing in the winter. And of course, have a nice home I could comfortably afford while still being able to help my friends out and donate to charity. In other words, it probably doesn't exist. But if I had to answer, I guess somewhere around Pittsburgh or Minneapolis. I don't know. How tall are you? Have you ever gotten in trouble? I am 5'11". And if you mean with the law, yeah. I got a speeding ticket for going 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. But yeah, I basically hadn't had any sleep for like 3 or 4 days, and I broke the speed limit, very much so, and that's what I told the officer. I was not paying attention. I done goofed. Who is your fursuit crush? Aside from Treble, it's probably Kara the Wolf or Picari-Roo. Yeah, Picari for sure. Blue fursuits are best fursuits. If you get a fursuit, it has to be a blue one. All other colors are inferior except for maybe orange or yellow. Yeah, pretty sure I'm right about that. That's got to be a proven scientific fact. What's your first Sonic game and what's your favorite Sonic game? My first was Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Sega Genesis. My favorite? It was Sonic and Knuckles until Sonic Mania hit the scene. That's like my official favorite Sonic game now. If I hadn't have lost so much stuff from moving so much as a kid, I probably have around 20 Sonic games now, and unfortunately, as a result of all that moving, I now have less than 10, and I'm trying to build my collection up again, so yeah. What are some things you would want to change about the fandom, and why? I could write an essay on answering this inquiry, but I'll try to keep it short. We need to spend more time educating younger and newer furries as opposed to bashing them for not understanding certain rules in the fandom, like art theft, for example. We all had to start somewhere in the fandom. Can you dance? No. I could play DDR if that counts for anything, and I can do this. Have you gotten over your fear of vacuum cleaners yet? Oh yes, many months ago. For a while I used to go savage anytime I saw a vacuum cleaner, but nowadays I've grown out of it, and I have better control of myself. Why are you so cute? Also, when did you become a potato? Oh no, I'm not that cute. I am not cute. I'm kind of cute, but I'm not super duper cute. If I'm super duper cute, you have to blame my fursuit maker on that one. And when did I become a potato? I probably started becoming a potato when I began experiencing insomnia. And I couldn't tell you exactly when that it started. How long have you had sleeping issues? How do you deal with it? And if you want to answer, how does it affect your daily life? Well, fudge, I guess I am gonna have to answer it. I started having issues with insomnia around the time I got my first job a long time ago. It would come and go in waves. I'll get into bed, start to relax, then suddenly remember I have to pay 8 bills that are due on the 38th of Potatoary, and I pretty much won't go back to sleep until I set my phone to remind me about the bill, write it down on paper, put a note on the door, and write it on my forehead. Adulting is really hard sometimes. It affects my daily life in a way that I do some really goofy things. Like this morning when I had to wake up, I almost walked into a wall. I didn't know the wall was there. And it's affecting me right now because I'm tripping on my words. If you had 24 hours left to live, what would you do? I'd spend the first few hours crying my eyes out, give away all my prized possessions to my closest friends, and do a face reveal. Maybe. What would you do if you won $1 million? I'd leave Mississippi right away, move somewhere really nice, and invest some of it into, I don't know, a potato farm or something. Nah, I'm honestly not sure what I would do right away, but if you really want to know, just send me $1 million and I'll get back with you on it. Pretty sure someone has $1 million laying around somewhere that they can just throw away and send to this piece of furry trash, right? So hot in here. Ugh. How did you come up with Stormi? If you could add one color to Stormi, what would it be? Stormi was inspired heavily by Sonic and Tails, which are like my favorite video game characters of all time. And if I could add another color to Stormi, it would probably be bright orange or maybe a lighter blue, an even lighter blue. Are you playing Super Mario Odyssey? No, I'm not because I live under a rock and I'm too busy making lame videos on the internet and trying to figure out where I am because, oh my god, I'm so tired and I need sleep. Do you like anime? I used to watch anime a lot more when I was younger, but some of my favorite anime are Soul Eater, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Inuyasha, to name a few. How did you find the furry fandom? Many years ago, I stumbled onto it by accident through the artistic side of the fandom. I think it was on DeviantArt, the side that's R-rated. Yeah. Will you legalize a woo? If I somehow become president of the furry fandom, if that ever becomes a thing, I kind of hope it doesn't. In that case, yeah, I would legalize a woo. What type of movies do you like? I used to enjoy horror movies when I was younger, but I feel like Hollywood has lost their touch these days with horror movies. Some of my most favorite movies are from the 80s, and I really like 80s horror flicks because of how cheesy and all the stop motion effects you'll see used in older movies as opposed to how everything's computer generated these days. That stuff just appeals to me. Who matters most to you out of your family? Boy, they all matter. They're all just as important. I don't play favorites in my family. Not now, not ever. Potato? Yes, I agree with this statement. Well said. What's your favorite food besides pizza and potatoes? Spaghetti, mac and cheese, butter biscuits, Reese's Puffs, pancakes, waffles, and that's all I can think of at the moment thanks to this headache that just showed up. Ugh. I am so tired. Can the ear flops fit the beat of any song? I think so, as long as the tempo isn't something out of a speedcore track. What I might do is just record an ear flopping template and let you all experiment and play with it. What calms you down? Light rainfall hitting a tin roof, the sound of water boiling, a nice warm bubble bath, getting my shoulders massaged, warm soup, and hugs. How old do you think you will be when you get married? I honestly don't know. Treble and I are in a very serious relationship, but this is something I am in no hurry to do because if there's anything I've learned about marriage, it's about how much hell you gotta go through if you ever file for divorce. Marriage isn't something anyone should take lightly, but yeah. How many potatoes can you potato? Well, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 32. Have you ever fursuited in public? Aside from fur meets, I haven't. Public suiting is a very risky venture in my opinion. Maybe it's safe to do so in other parts of the country, but over here, it's very hot during the summer. There's a lot of crime and hate crime that goes on, and I don't want to get into that. I just want to stay inside. What is your favorite music genre? Either classic rock, EDM, glitch hop, classical music, or almost anything you'd find in a Sonic game. How would you pronounce my name? Kiviger. I think that's right, because I remember you asking me before in one of my live streams. What's your opinion on getting your pet as a fursuit? I don't see anything really wrong with it per se, but personally, I couldn't do something like that. I have 2 cats, and one of them is absolutely terrified of fursuits. I'd want to respect his wishes. How long have you been wanting to do YouTube? I've been doing YouTube before I even started this channel, actually. However, I never really settled on what kind of content I'd want to produce. Like, I used to make those YouTube poop videos back in the dark ages when they were a popular thing, but I was never really consistent with my content. I got burned out from it pretty quick. If you could give any advice to your future self, what would it be? Don't give up. Life's gonna kick your ass sometimes, but you just gotta keep fighting, and if you're stubborn enough, you'll get through whatever hell you're having to put up with. Also, don't go into the light. Who are your favorite fursuiters? Bakari Roo, Frankie, Majira, Treble, and Leon, to name a few. Favorite Disney movie other than Zootopia? Wreck-It Ralph and Lion King. When did you join the fandom? I've been studying the fandom for several years, but honestly, I didn't really publicly identify as a furry until a little over a year ago. Where do you see yourself in 2019? Your channel? The furry fandom as a whole? Well, I hope I'm still making furry YouTube content for the most part. I also hope to have finally moved to a safer neighborhood, have my full suit finished, and yeah. The furry fandom? There's going to be even more furry YouTubers by then, and hopefully this will encourage the media to realize we're not all morons, for the most part. Would you ever have a second persona or a fursuit? Yeah, I actually do have a second persona, a Dutch Angel Dragon known as Raindrop, but I don't have any art I can publicly share just yet. And getting a second fursuit would be rad. I'd love to eventually commission more for less. What is your favorite form of potato? Number 1 would be potato chips. Number 2 would be mashed potatoes. Apparently, I really loved eating mashed potatoes as a kid. What would you say is a perfect day to you? Waking up, fully rested from a nice 8-hour sleep, have a nice warm cup of coffee, butter biscuits and gravy for breakfast, and it's all on a Saturday, so that means no work. And since I had a full night's rest, which is extremely rare, I honestly wouldn't know where to expend all that energy. I'd be in shock. I only wish days like this happened more often, but yeah, I hated having insomnia. If you don't have it, consider yourself lucky. It's not fun. How many suit parts do you have? I have my fursuit head, my arm sleeves, my paws, my feet, and my digigrade legs. The reason I don't show them in my videos is because they need to be retailored. They need repairs, and I'm moving up to a full suit soon. But yeah, I'm really sorry if this video was too long. I don't quite know how to manage time on my Q&A videos because I'm a potato and I'm tired. If you have a question that you think I should answer, leave hashtag Q&A in the comment section below and your question so I know what to look for. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, maybe give it a like, maybe subscribe if you haven't already, ring the little bell thingy, and share it with your other furry friendos. If you have any, I mean, and even if you don't, still share it. Maybe they'll become one of us. One of us.
One of us.
Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!